Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance and how conservative anger is misguided. Let's discuss. And Monday, the conservative world exploded. Every single podcast was talking about this. It took me a little bit more days to react to this. I wanted everything die down and analyze and get your feelings out of the way. Well, I feel like a lot of people should learn, but everybody's chasing trends, so it is what it is. But to be angry at Bad Bunny, and I know he's a divisive figure, and the comments that he said in Saturday Night Live about people should learn Spanish, I know angered people, and I know that people were not feeling him already to begin with. And I get that point 100%. And that is a valid point. I mean, the guy is arrogant in what he said, and it's disrespectful. I get it 100%. But in the end of the day, he didn't hire himself. The NFL hired him, knew he was going to sing the entire performance in Spanish, and didn't give a shit. Didn't give a shit. They basically sold out their audience because the majority of the population in this country is white. So I'm sure the majority of their audience is white because not all the Hispanics watch football. We know this. At the same token, I understand the NFL's angle. They want to grow the sport. They want to grow the viewership. They want everybody essentially watching tackle football. So it makes, to a degree, it makes sense for them to take on that move. But at the same time, it was a bit perplexing because the target audience, not every Hispanic group shares the same culture. Kind of newsflash to them. The whole performance, the whole stage, let's break that down. The stage, the performance, even the music. The music is Caribbean rhythms. The stage the stage and what the people were wearing was depicting sugar farming in the Caribbean, primarily Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic. What the people were wearing, the straw hats with the palm tree leaves, made out of palm tree leaves, the architecture of the house to withstand the heat of the Caribbean. Everything was very Caribbean rooted. And if you look at that, that's 12% of the Hispanic population. Puerto Ricans make up at least 5%, 5 point something percent. Cubans and Dominicans make 2 point something percent. So roughly, no, that's 9%. I'm sorry, beg your pardon. 9% of the population. So I was confused in that part. But I know Big Bunny is a huge star, and I know that since he's a huge star, it makes sense because everybody listens to him in the Spanish world. Everybody. So that part made sense. Now, here's the reaction by conservatives, and I had a little bit of a problem with that. First and foremost, we sometimes criticize the left, and yet sometimes we tend to act like the left, get a little sensitive about things. And I understand some people say, how can you say that? The whole performance was in Spanish and that's disrespectful. I get it, but hear me out. If you have a problem with a particular brand, which is what the NFL is at the end of the day, then all you simply have to do is take your income, whatever you're spending on them, and take it out. Just like Robbie Starbuck went to war with Harley Davidson and other brands that went woke and when it started engaging in the LGBTQ plus divided sign or whatever it's called, and got them to desist from going down that path. So that is an avenue that conservatives have. And I'm going to address the comments that Glenn Beck made on his podcast. he translated a lot of the lyrics that Bad Bunny was singing. He said, was this wholesome? Let me take a stab a little bit of hypocrisy on that. When Janet Jackson's titty popped out in the Super Bowl, was that family? I know it was an accident, but was that family wholesome? Any rapper that goes up there and sings any rap song, is that going to be family oriented? So if you're going to criticize his lyrics, his music, there's a bunch of other people you could criticize before that. And this isn't a defense of Bad Bunny, just stating facts. I mean, we start, at times, we get so offended and so in an uproar that we start to sound like the left. And everything isn't that they're trying to steal the country away from you. Everything doesn't have to revolve to that. We can have a fair understanding of it that the NFL, to a degree, betrayed its audience. You can make that argument all day. But to sit here and bring up that point that, oh my God, his lyrics, he's not the only person that's come on and sung a bunch of filth at the Super Bowl. Just stop. Just stop. I think that was just, to me, that was just a little bit hypocritical, in my opinion. So, in that sense, I really wasn't feeling the whole conservative reaction to the whole spectacle, what happened. Because in the end of the day, you can just choose where your money's going. You can just tell people, hey, you know what? The NFL's going this direction. Let's just not patronize them. It's just that simple. It's that simple. I got to give Bad Bunny credit. He didn't get political. He didn't walk out of there with a fuck Ice t-shirt or some nonsense like that. I mean, I know he had his little message on the football, whatever, but it wasn't nothing too extreme. And I was like, I was like watching and waiting for that part to come out, for the political message to come out, or nobody's illegal on stolen lands, or some sort of nonsense like that. That did not happen. So I was a bit, I guess, that did surprise me that there was no real political message. I think Ricky Martin made some references to "they stealing my flag" or something like that he sung. But I mean, I believe that got you starving for relevance. I mean, he was huge 20-something years ago, and he just faded away. And that's what I think a lot of that has to do with that. But I feel our anger and our focus as conservatives, it just pointed in the wrong direction. I feel it should be at the NFL. They could have went a different way. They could have been like, you know what, we're trying to grow our audience and we're gonna go with a change. They could have had Chris Stapleton and Bad Bunny. You know, you're still not alienating your audience, your main audience, and you still could have reached out for other people. It could have been done a million different ways, but they just threw up the middle finger at people, said, fuck it, we're doing what we're going to do. And people should do the same thing. That is my take. That's nothing controversial. That's not defending Bad Bunny either, but that's just how I see it. But I'll catch you on the next one. Hey, like and subscribe. Hit me up on the comments.